Good morning, everyone. This is a Fox News alert. There's been a massive, deadly earthquake. It has struck in central Chile. Its magnitude is 8.8, which is obviously huge. The epicenter is located just 70 miles from Concepcion. That's Chile's second largest city. At this point, at this hour, 76 people are known to be dead. That's according to the emergency office in Brazil.
Yeah, the quake has triggered tsunamis and tsunami warnings throughout the Pacific, including Hawaii at this hour. Jen Ross is a foreign correspondent based in Santiago, Chile. She's with Christian Science Monitor. She joins us this morning on the phone. That's about 200 miles from the epicenter of the quake. Jen, what can you tell us at this hour? What are you hearing?
Well, again, we just heard the latest death toll of 76. Of course, that's going to keep rising, and it has been as the day goes on. The damage is vast. There are serious problems with electricity throughout the country, particularly restoring it. We still don't have electricity. And there are a number of bridges and streets that have collapsed, buildings that have collapsed in various cities. Curicó is a town about halfway between Santiago and the epicenter in Concepcion, and there they literally have toppled buildings around the main plaza. The historic city center is quite devastated, and although their population isn't as big as Concepcion, it's definitely looking like one of the worst hit in terms of infrastructure.
And Jen, this number is massive for folks. 8.8. Remember, Haiti was just a 7 earthquake, so this is enormous. But I'm told that the depth of this earthquake may have helped circumstances. What can you tell us in the way of infrastructure? Is this a city, a country that's prepared for this type of disaster?
Definitely. That's what really will make the big difference in terms of death toll and damage with Chile. Chile's a seismic country. All buildings are made to withstand earthquakes in as much as possible. And so Chile is just used to this. There's a lot of public education also around what to do in case of an earthquake. And so it is very prepared. And Haiti wasn't the same situation there. So although the actual scale of this earthquake was much stronger, the buildings, the infrastructure is better prepared to withstand it, and people are much more educated about what to do during and after.
Jen, tell us about your experience. I know you're not in Concepcion, the epicenter, but were you awake when this happened?
Oh, yes. In Santiago, we felt 7.5 on the Richter scale, so it was still close enough. And you were jolted out of bed. We were sleeping, and all of a sudden it was shaking, and my husband said, "It's an earthquake." He knows now the difference between an earthquake and a tremor, and he said, "That's an earthquake." So I ran to my daughter's room. She's a little under 2 years old, and picked her up. Of course, we're always taught that in an earthquake, the most dangerous thing in Santiago is breaking glass from windows shattering. So I grabbed her to get her away from any windows, and we all stood in the door frames of her bedroom, as it shook. And of course, the walls are shaking, the ground is shaking. We could hear decorations and pictures falling off the walls, falling onto the floor, glass breaking, and the lights are out, of course, because the electricity went, and so it was scary. Yeah.
It's almost 9 a.m. there right now in Santiago, Chile. 6:56 Eastern Time here in the United States. Almost 9 a.m. there in Chile. I guess the daylight hours as workers get out there and they have a chance now to assess this. Do you expect, are you hearing from officials there that they expect the death toll to increase?
Oh, yes. We have radio. That's about all that we have at the moment because of the electricity being out. But we are able to get that over the cell phone, and they have periodic reports in terms of the death toll. It keeps climbing. They keep reporting every death by city and by cause. And they obviously expect it to keep rising. There are many that haven't been counted because they are massive deaths in terms of a bridge falling on top of cars with people inside of them, or a building collapsing entirely. So those individual instances will obviously cause the total to rise. But you won't see anything as big as Haiti in terms of the death toll, simply because also the population isn't as concentrated, and as well we have much better infrastructure.
Jen, it sounds obviously so scary for you to have just experienced that, particularly with your less than 2-year-old daughter. Can you look out the window and see what kind of destruction there is around you in Santiago right now?
You don't see it when you look out the window in Santiago. You don't see the destruction. The destruction, because the buildings are really well prepared, is in seeing concrete. For instance, in the lobby of our building, there's like slabs of concrete that have fallen from the ceiling on the floor, and you can see cracks in the walls and so forth. But you don't see buildings that have entirely collapsed. We have heard cases of a dozen buildings in Santiago that have collapsed, but those are not in my immediate viewing area from the window. Some of them are in downtown, and some of them are in the area of Maipú, which is a little bit, it's a slightly poorer area, and there may be more deaths because of people who've had buildings falling on top of them in a more concentrated population area.
Okay, Jen, well, thank you so much. We will certainly keep in touch with you throughout the morning. Just to remind folks, in case you're just waking up, an 8.8 magnitude earthquake has rocked the country of Chile near the city of Concepcion. The death toll currently at 76, but expect that to climb dramatically as the sun comes up, as communications get back online, as phones begin working and power comes on. We hope at some point today our own chief meteorologist Rick Reichmuth will weigh in and give us the very latest on this development as well.
Certainly, because there are also tsunami warnings at this hour. A major tsunami is expected to hit somewhere. We're not sure where exactly within the next 12 hours. So Rick Reichmuth will be monitoring that. Stand by, Fox and Friends.